Hey, welcome back to Operations Unfiltered, the podcast that takes you behind the scenes of influencer marketing and content creation. I'm your host and your favorite marketing project manager girlie, Zarina. Okay, today we're talking about something that you've probably felt in your wallet way before you even heard it on the news. I'm talking about recession indicators. If you're like me, the word recession might be a buzzword that evokes extreme emotion, usually negative. And for me, I like to find a Real Housewives analogy to help me break down complex situations or words that I truly don't understand. And I'm partial to Real Housewives of Atlanta or Potomac, so most of my references are from those shows. So basically, a recession is when the whole cast trip turns into Great Falls, Virginia instead of Portugal. Still shade, still drama, but definitely on a tighter budget. Now, you might be wondering, what does a recession look like outside of those charts and the Wall Street Journal reports and stock tickers? Sometimes it looks like coupons. I know you know what I'm talking about. Those papers that our moms and grandmoms used to swear by at the grocery store. I used to be so embarrassed when my grandma would pull out all her coupons. But if you grew up like me, then you remember it was a whole situation. Saturdays, you would get your paper, scissors in your hand, clipping and stashing away deals for the week. But now, fast forward to 2025, and that nostalgic experience is gone because everything is digital. Apps, QR codes, loyalty codes, and convenience is nice, but it raises the question, are we missing something? Is something being lost? Here's the twist. There's a rise of creative hobbies. My friends are scrap journaling, scrapbooking. People are really searching for tactile, nostalgic experience. So maybe there is a lane for paper coupons to make a comeback. I mean, could you imagine blending crafting with budgeting? Now your journal becomes a money saving scrapbook. And honestly, in a recession, that might not just be cute, it might be a practical solution. Okay, so keep that in mind. And here's another shift that has been quietly happening that I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this, but major retailers are tightening the reins on their loyalty programs and their coupon codes. For example, Target and giant grocery stores and other retailers are no longer accepting competitors' coupons. Now, that might sound small, and some of you might not even have known that these companies were doing this, but it's a huge change. For families who are used to stacking deals, it means less flexibility, less breathing rooms, and higher out of pocket costs. In already challenging economic times, this is awful. Now, I'm a project manager in my professional life. I'm also a project manager of my household. And I wanted to know, what does this mean for us? Because let's be real, managing a budget is one of the most complex projects you'll ever run in your life. You've got the scope, which is your bills, groceries, daycare. Moms, daycare is a huge expense. You've got resources, your paycheck or any other side hustle income. And then you've got stakeholders, like your preschooler who suddenly only eats one brand of yogurt. She only likes the Sky Danimals yogurt, by the way. So there's that. And when competitor coupons disappear, it's truly like losing a key resource in your project plan. Now we've got to pivot. Now I've got to rebalance the schedule and reallocate funds. It's project management, but with grocery bags. Hate it here. And you guys, this is where we're seeing another interesting recession indicator, the rise of consigning and thrifting. People aren't just hunting for deals at thrift shops, they're making money back by consigning their own items. I'll give you guys a quick example. Over the past year, well, 2 years since I've had my daughter, I've made a few $100s consigning everything from old beach equipment to car seats and even a bassinet. Things that my family no longer needs turned into actual cash, which then got funneled back into other projects like daycare costs or a quick giant run. It's like closing out a project, reclaiming unused resources, and putting them to work somewhere else. And that's the perfect lead into today's guest. Robyn is the founder of TotSwap Consignment, which is an incredible business that helps families buy and sell gently used items. She's built a model that not only saves people money, but also creates a community around sustainability and financial flexibility. I'm happy to report that I've consigned with TotSwap 2 years in a row, and I've made some coins. So let's chat with Robyn about all things consignment and financial security and flexibility through the TotSwap Consignment.
It's so interesting because the way that from when I started to now and how marketing and online has evolved, it's so fascinating. I'm fascinated by all of that. And
Really? So
yeah,
you have
oh,
to tell me your origin story because I want to know.
yeah.
I like how did we land at TotSwap? Like it's the most innovative idea, and my husband and I laugh as we're dragging all of our stuff in there every time. We're like, this lady's a genius. How did you do this? And I was like, you know what? I'm sick of asking you,
I'm not.
husband. I'm gonna ask her. So here we are.
Yes, here we are. And actually, I don't take credit for that because it wasn't my idea. So, yeah, so I actually always worked in the event planning industry.
I
So
can tell.
it's evolved over the years, that's for sure. The things that we've been through, hopefully you don't see it as the customer, but we've gone through a lot, but it has evolved. And I was doing other events and I ran across this concept and I was like, oh my gosh, this is just genius. Because I had my first son at the time, and I actually before I got on with you, I meant to go back and look because I think 2026 is my 20th year anniversary. So we went through COVID, we've been through tornadoes, we've been through power outages, we've been through it all.
You were an event planner. How did your career land you here? Where how do we get here?
Well, I was actually floating around at different event planning companies, and I actually left a job that I absolutely hated, and then I started college fairs. And I was taking and I went on the venue, actually was looking at other events that they have, and that's where I ran across the concept. And that's why I
Hmm.
was like, oh my gosh, genius. Because I firmly believe in the concept. I absolutely believe in recycling and reusing. And not only that, but just like for families to make a couple $100, like for three
Yes.
or $400 by selling their stuff each season.
For me, what I love about consignment is that it challenges the old stigma about secondhand. I'm putting air quotes around secondhand because honestly, it's not just about being frugal, it's about being smart, especially in such challenging economic times. It's about project managing the life cycle of your purchases. So instead of items sitting in a closet or worse, going to waste, you extend their use and recover some of your investment. When I had my daughter, and that first year, I spent so much money on clothes that she never wore, clothes that she wore once, clothes that I literally took a picture of her in and took her out of it. And I kid you not, I made $300 my first consignment. And that's why I was like, this lady's a genius. Wow. Why didn't I think of this type of situation? Because it really helped me. And I needed that $300 because daycare is
Yes.
expensive. So
Yeah.
we appreciate you.
Yes, absolutely. And I think everybody does, right? At the end of the day, who couldn't use 300, $400, right? Everybody could.
Yes.
And no matter what place you are in life, you can. So, and I think that and even like you look at like a Fisher Price toy, right?
Yeah.
That you bleach that up, you clean it up, it's perfect. It's just as good as it was when you bought it brand new. So I firmly believe that reusing those things and reselling them, giving them to another home is so valuable. But like you said, you spent so much money on those things. So
Yes.
you're not trying to make back what you paid for it. You know, you're being
Nope.
realistic that there's a resale value to something, but you want a little bit back because the mom on the other end is paying significantly less than what she would have paid if she bought it brand new. So I think it's a win-win. It
Absolutely.
really is a win-win for the family who's selling it and for the family who's buying it. And
Especially
when
in
I
this
had
economy. Oh my gosh, financial insecurity is crazy. And honestly,
oh
I
my
was
god.
gonna throw away my car seat that I put there, and my husband was like, "Why don't we bring that?" And we ended up selling it. So to your point, it's just I was gonna throw it away. Like I really was. So I'm grateful for this opportunity, and I really feel like you filled a gap. And honestly, with the way things are going, do you anticipate it being bigger? And how do you anticipate growing with the bigger growth?
You know, it's always had its ups and downs, right? I mean, COVID
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
we're we're recovering. So it'll be very interesting to see. I think because of the political climate last year, at the end of last year,
Mhm.
with things were just iffy. I think families, no matter where you stand, people are just a little bit fearful and not sure with how they were spending their money, what they were doing. But now that we're in this year and things are kind of, we're realizing where things are, right? So I
Yeah.
do think that this year coming people still have, like you said, that insecurities. I think that things are so much more expensive now. It's
Mm.
crazy. So I do think that we're going to have a little bit of a surge this fall. I don't think, it's going to go off the charts, but I do think we're going to have a little surge, and, people will be coming back and will be realizing that, okay, they're ready to do it, this fall.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we've managed at different levels, right? So if we have that surge, we can handle it just fine. So
Yeah,
we
and
hope
like
for the
I said,
surge,
it is
right?
a very well-oiled machine. It is, and even the new additions you guys have made this past year with the cones and the drop-off zones, I was like, "Oh my goodness, I scheduled it during lunch break, so I was in and out." It's honestly it's well organized. You guys, let's be honest. Thrifting has become chic again. Between sustainability trends and TikTok thrift hauls, buying secondhand isn't just a money move, it's a cultural shift. This means consigning is no longer just something your aunt once did in the 90s. It's a legit organized system where people are running their households like a business. Now, for me, as a corporate project manager, a booking agent for influencers, and a content creator myself, here's how I think about project management in the household. Your budget equals your project plan. Coupons, whether paper or digital, used to be a task dependency. And if that task get removed, you need a workaround. Consignment, that's your risk management strategy. It's your plan B, air quotes around plan B, revenue stream. If you have an unexpected daycare bill, I mean, moms, if you know that annual registration fee, I hate it, but it comes. Consign last year's summer stroller that you're no longer using, and now you can cover your daycare bill. And the last thing, thrifter equals stakeholder engagement because let's face it, the stakeholders, which are your family, still expect results even if your budget is tighter. So when we zoom out, these shifts in coupons, competitor policies, and consignment aren't just random trends, they're honestly early warning signs, indicators of how the economy is squeezing families and how we have to adapt with creativity and strategy. Speaking about content creation, if you could collaborate with your dream influencer, your dream content creator, who would it be and why? And what would you envision them doing, or how would you envision them promoting the Tot Swap?
I don't think I have one in particular. Because, when you think about your dream influencer, they're, these people who have millions and millions of fans. But for me, it's just
Yeah.
the local families, that's from a marketing perspective, right? For
Mhm.
TotSwap marketing perspective. Is I just, these moms who just have the influence locally, right? They're micro influencers. Those are the people that I really want to reach out to and work with, are micro influencers. Because even those influencers that have hundreds of thousands of fans, they're
Mhm.
really broad spectrum, like, all across the United States or even worldwide, where somebody who
Yeah.
only has like a couple thousand followers, they're really niche. They're really more local. There's the people that I really, that are more, I think, up my alley.
Yeah, I love that you said micro influencer, and the fact that you said that, literally my heart fluttered because you as a business owner you're able to delineate between you know what I mean? I love that
Yeah.
because that shows that you're invested in growing your business as far as marketing is concerned. And I think you are spot on. What is one myth or misconception that people have about consigning this industry, this business? What do you think is a myth or a misconception that they have about it?
Oh, like that they're buying, like, that it's like a flea market. There's nothing wrong with a garage sale, yard sale. There's really nothing wrong with a flea market too. But and I feel like we're kind of that middle level.
Mhm.
We're not Neiman Marcus. We're not Walmart. We're kind of like Target, Nordstrom, right?
Yeah. What would
It's
set you guys apart? Like, what are the key things? I know what it is for me as a shopper and both as a consigner. For reference, guys who are listening, I brought my Ralph Lauren items. I brought my Juicy Couture baby items that were gifted.
okay.
You know what I mean? Those type
Yeah,
of
yeah, yeah.
things. So,
Yes. Well,
yeah.
and we have that, right? We have all of it. We have, and actually it's funny because we do a lot of buying. So, but as a buying, we only buy the high-end stuff, right?
Mhm.
But if you're selling on your own, you can sell your Carter stuff. You can sell your Old Navy stuff. That's fine. But you can also bring your Ralph Lauren and your Mini Bowden and your Lily Pulitzer and all that stuff. So it really runs the gamut of all price ranges of things. So, and
Yeah.
it's quality stuff too. So, but I think the biggest difference is when you're shopping yard sale, flea market, or garage sale, it's organization, right? So if
Mhm.
you know you need girls 3T, you're going straight to that section. So,
Yep.
you don't have to shop around and spend all these hours searching. You just come right to one place and you find it all in one spot. And it's very easy to shop.
And can you talk a little bit about the other types of things that you guys sell? Because I know it's TotSwap. I know you have the car seats, the sleepers, the baby items, but what are some of the other things you have? I know you have books, I know you have board games, I know you have that, but what are some other categories that people?
From tot to tween and everything in between, plus
Oh,
maternity, right?
yeah.
But we have home decor. Home decor is I actually like the home decor section. I would like the home decor section to grow because as our moms grow or get older, right, that their kids might grow out of it, but there's still the home decor stuff.
How has running TotSwap changed you as a person? And what is the moment that you were like, aha, this is it. This is why I do what I do?
I think it's just confidence and like really believing in my capabilities. Like I do like I've had a very successful company. I mean, it's been 20 years I've been doing this and I've been very successful. So, and I need to remind myself of that sometimes, but I think it definitely has given me a lot of confidence over the years for sure. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. And then, of course, I know we can keep up with you online, but what's next for TotSwap? Can you tell us the dates of all the next sales? I know, and
Um
then I'll of course put it all in my episode description, but what's next immediately for TotSwap?
Okay, so the dates we have coming up, gosh, I'm not going to have the exact dates, but it's all on our website, which is totswap.net. But in September, we're in Rockville in person. We have also Westminster in person in September. October, we have Frederick, and then we're back in Timonium in October. And then November, we're in Howard County. And then December is our online Rockville sale.
So there
So,
is a time to shop all year pretty much for the rest of the year. I love this so much, Robyn.
yes,
You are
yes,
like the best. When I
yes.
tell you you are that girl, you are that girl.
Oh,
When I
you're so
I
sweet.
came, I love it.
You're so sweet.
And thank you so much for joining me on this episode. I cannot wait to share this with my audience. And thank you so
Oh,
much.
I love meeting you. You're wonderful. You're so sweet. Like, I love this. Thank you so much. And let's definitely connect.
And thanks so much to Robyn for sharing all those gems. More than anything, I think the bigger takeaway from all of this is that financial health isn't just about earning more, it's about managing the operations of your household with intention. Key two words, with intention. It's about knowing when to cut, when to repurpose, and when to innovate, just like with any good project. So as always, thank you for tuning into Operations Unfiltered. Huge thank you to Robyn from TotSwap for joining me and sharing her expertise. If you've been curious about consigning or thrifting, maybe this is your sign to give it a try. You might be surprised at how much you make and save. Don't forget to follow the podcast, share this episode with a friend, and of course, check out TotSwap's upcoming events. I'll share the link in today's show notes. But until next time, make it a great day or not. The choice is always yours. Until next time.